Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy. We're looking for a great show tonight. We've got two outstanding guests, one red hot cooker right now, Mr. Scotty Bryce with East Texas Smoker. He's going to be our main guest, and we've also brought in the president of the Outlaw BBQ Association, Mr. Cody Malin. We're going to get his thoughts and comments about what he thought about the cook-off this past weekend, and it was a great cook-off. 50 teams that was there, so he's going to get feedback from at least two cooks. Myself and Scotty was both there, and then we're going to just kind of hear how Cody thought everything ran behind the scenes. I thought everything went really, really well, and we'll talk a little bit about that cook-off along with upcoming cook-offs. They steadily have cook-offs pouring in, and they got another cook-off coming up here this weekend at the Bass Pro Shop there in Grapevine, Texas. Let us know that you've come in. We've got folks already showing up. Gordon, appreciate you being here. Man, I hate that you had to take a fall and beat up that asphalt that away. I'm glad that you did clarify that, because I was going to say, did your wife get after you with an iron skillet? You know, sometimes that kind of stuff can happen. So, but I'm glad you are doing okay. Big Jim Hudgens, thank you for being here, doing well. Hope you're doing good also. Caitlin, appreciate you, and Brandon always being here. Can count on you guys week in and week out. John, appreciate you being here. Erica, thank you for showing up. Jump right over. Erica, thank you for showing up. It was so great hanging out with you and James, and I do appreciate the limp brisket shirt, and I forgot Suzette washed it. And I didn't get it out. I don't know if she had it finished in time. I was going to wear my limp brisket t-shirt tonight. And but I got the socks as well. That was so cool and so nice of you guys to do it. I think a few people was like, so everybody's like, did you lose a bet with them to have to wear that? I was like, no, I didn't lose no bet with them. I just wanted to wear it. So anyway, appreciate it, and it was so great hanging out with y'all. Ruben, thank you for being here. Texas Chapter Barbecue in the house. Brandon, thank you for showing up. Let's see, Thin Blue Smoke, yes sir, baby. Let's see, Juke, thank you for being here, man. It was great seeing you this weekend. Kurt, thanks for showing up as well. Greg, man, I tell you what, you had a monster buck that you killed the other day. That was a really, really good looking buck. It's amazing all the deer that y'all have got down there. And I keep wanting to hit you up. My dad is 83 years old. He loves to deer hunt. He still does it. I swear I want to hook you up and try to get hooked up with you to take him out just one time for him to go kill a big one. So I started to call you at the beginning of the year and surprise my dad. But I tell you what, that was a beautiful deer that you killed the other day. So, oh, yes. Who else we got? Erica, yeah, absolutely. I'll represent anytime. We also got Mr. Danny Helm in the house. Be Extreme Barbecue, thank you. Look who else we got here. Mr. Nick, thanks for showing up, buddy. We got the champ in the house, Miss Marissa Overson. Thank you for being here, Marissa. We appreciate it. Got Chuck here as well, Rockin' A Grilling Supplies. If you need anything, these guys have got it. Mr. Tim Woolridge, so great to hang out with you and Zach the other day. It's always fun. One of my good friends that would just absolutely have a blast cooking together. Walker, great to have you here, man, and great seeing you and Judy this past weekend at the Outlaw BBQ Association. And yes, I will agree with you, it does rock. Mr. Terry Roan, another world champion's in the house. Man, I tell you what, the comments are coming in so fast. I'm clicking them and going right by them. Appreciate you being here, Terry. Hopefully, we may get to see you at one of these competitions when the steak scene slows down a little bit. And I think you're going to absolutely enjoy the Outlaw Barbecue. Let's see. Yep, Greg, don't tempt me, Nan. I may have to hit you up with that. I know it's something my dad would absolutely enjoy. I do have your phone number. I may reach out to you and see what we can do. Kevin, thank you for being here. Kiki, go back, coming in so fast. Kiki, thank you. You did an absolute awesome job this weekend. You always do. And one of my favorite judges right there. She keeps everybody straight, keeps us in line, and has such a dadgum good time doing it. And that's what I love about Kiki. Let's see, David, appreciate you being here. The Weber Kettle Club Barbecue Team Australia is in here. Man, we're reaching all the way across the pond in Australia. Yes, we do have a very, very big reach. We got people from all over the world. Kurt, thank you for being here. Had a great time this last weekend. We did too. Chris Cheney, thank you for being here, buddy. Chris, I tell you what, man, you're going to have to put one of these Outlaw events on your schedule. They are a lot of fun, a lot of barbecue family, and we just had a blast. Merv, thank you for being here. Stephen, thank you for showing up. And you need to come hang out with us at El Dorado. It is this weekend. You know what? If I don't have nothing going on, that is not too far from Shreveport. I may just have to come up there because I know that is a fun cook-off up there. And I may have to see if I can get a schedule clear just to hang out with you guys. So Terry does plan on doing one of the Outlaw events. And there's Mr. Mike Bryce. Mike, good to have you here, man. Yep, Scotty is definitely the man and on a roll right now. So couldn't do it without the team behind me. They are the best. I'll agree with you 100%. Charles, good to have you here, man. It was great seeing you this past weekend as well. Let's see. Got Cam Day in the house. Cam, good to see you here, man. Glad to see Team Elk Creek on the show. Yes, sir. I know Scotty is one of your sponsored by you, Cam. And I tell you what, man, you've got some absolutely wonderful product. It's so great to see what you've done in the last couple of years as your product. Elk Creek has continued to grow. I know you've got sauces and everything else. And it is so great to have you with us tonight. Really do appreciate it. We got quite a few folks in here. I do want to do one thing real quick, as we always do. We love to go in and thank our sponsors, our partners. For Barbecue Champs Academy, we could not do what we do without their help and their support. Mr. Danny Helm at Be Extreme Barbecue, thank you, buddy. You're so supportive of us. Also, our good friends out at B&B Charcoal. Seems like now they finally got a handle on things. We've got a lot of charcoal in stock at all the stores that I've been going to here lately. And COVID really kind of got them backlogged. But I tell you what, it seems like they are really rolling now that they've been bought out by Duraflame. Also, Mr. Brian Crawford at Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shops. Appreciate him and his Crawford barbecue products that he has. Also, if you're looking for another great rub, Texas Select Seasoning, Mr. Wild Bill, he has got some awesome stuff. He's even got a lot of stuff for wild game. And he's had a rub company, I think around the mid-'80s is when he started. So be sure to check Texas Select Seasoning out as well. My good buddy at Gunnar Wilhelm, certainly do appreciate his support with everything. They've even got a coupon code now, guys. If you've bought our classes in the private message boards that we have, go in and take a look. We've got two coupon. No, it's not a coupon. It's a link that'll go directly to the webpage that he has created for Barbecue Champs. And when you check out, you got two different knife sets. The discount will already be there. My good buddy John Lindsay and Ronald Burns at steakrubs.com. Dustin Stanley at the barbecue store. Absolutely appreciate his support. I know Scotty loves this guy to death as well, and he's going to talk a little bit about his partnership with them. And also, last but not least, Raider Red Meats. If you guys are looking for prairie fresh ribs or any kind of steaks, they have just about everything that you can imagine. It supports the Texas Tech College. And they got scholarship programs that they put these guys and gals through working there in the meat department. And we are very, very excited to be part of that program there and to be able to help them out. So check them out, Raider Red Meats. Well, we got a few more folks that's popped in. I would want to make sure I see everyone in here. Let's see who else we got. Got Chris. Thank you for being here. And Miss Shauna Rapolo. Thank you for showing up tonight, Shauna. I appreciate it. Got Anthony here, and I got Donnie. Where's Donnie? Green to Green. Yes, sir. All right, let's just start off real quick. We're going to bring in Cody Malin. Cody is the president of the Outlaw BBQ Association. Cody, thank you for being with us tonight. I know we had you on here a couple weeks ago as we was leading up to the big competition this past weekend. Thank you for being here tonight, Cody.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Man, I tell you what, as a cook's perspective, looking at how everything was run, I think you guys did an amazing job. I couldn't tell you how many times that Tim Esch came by. I don't know what Tim Esch's involvement is. I don't know if he's on the board, and he may be. Is he on the board?
He is. He's a director.
He is on the board. So, I mean, he didn't cook. He came by 3 or 4 times to make sure that we had everything that we needed. I love the fact that somebody came by and told us when turn-in times were. He made it a point. I saw him going around to all the trailers. I was like, what is he doing? He said, hey, awards are going to be, I think it was 4:15. So nice to be able, sometimes you don't get it in turn-ins. There was just so many things that y'all did for the cooks that I thought really, really made it fun. The cooks seemed to have a lot of fun cooking and a lot of, I don't know, fellowship is what I like to call it, our barbecue family coming together. I had a lot of that going on Friday night, even Saturday. I actually stayed a little bit after Saturday night, had a lot of people talking to me, asking me some things, and I think it really went well. So as a cook's perspective, on a scale of 9 to 10, I'm going to have to give you guys a 10 for being your first one right out the gate. You got us parked well. You made sure that we had everything that we needed. The event ran flawlessly. The judging was awesome. You had plenty of judges on site. I was really concerned about that when I was coming into the town and I saw how small it was. I asked you about that. It was a concern. You said, I've already got it handled. We went over to Rockwall. We pulled some people out of there. All the things that as a cook that we worry about, I wasn't worried. Congratulations. Awesome job.
Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. I had to remind everybody, including all of our staff, that, this event and the organization came together within 3 weeks. So within 3 weeks, we had an organization, bylaws, rules, a board, and an event that kicked off and ultimately was a tremendous success, not only on the cook standpoint, but for our organization and for the charity as well. We were able to raise, I think it was like 8 buckets, big buckets of toys. They brought a trailer in to get all the toys. We were able to raise money for our organization. We sold over 70 memberships, sold out of T-shirts, sold out of hats. It was I had people begging me for hats and shirts, and if I could produce more that day, I would have. But we definitely marked that off as a great event. Over 50 cooks were there, and we ended up paying out over $8,500. So between the main payout as well as our side pots that we had going on, paid out $8,500. And to do that, it shows that the team we've built and the team we have with Outlaw, we obviously have the experience and the knowledge behind us to make this a great success. We couldn't have done it without every single person on the board, without every single person that contributed, members that just cooks that wanted to help out in any way possible.
Right.
The fellowship and I don't want to say the drinking, but the fellowship that we had, going on, it was great. We had over 30 cooks. James Dotson has kind of patented the 10:30 a.m. beer, where they pushed it back a little bit so we could support the bar. And we had over 30 cooks inside that bar chugging a beer at 10 o'clock that morning, 10:30 that morning.
Right.
Just kind of shaking hands with each other, wishing everybody good luck before we kicked off the day. And I think it worked really well. Turn-in times were pushed back a little bit. Our turn-in times as an organization are 1, 2, and 3. It was very easy for everybody to remember. We didn't have a single person miss a turn-in time or get confused on turn-ins. Everyone knew, hey, 1, 2, 3 on the dot, let's go. And you have 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after. So it was a tremendous success. We learned a few things. We all said that we've all been a part of barbecue, and we have, decades and centuries of experience as cooks with everybody helping us. But at the end of the day, none of us have really ever promoted an event before.
Right.
And so it's a little bit different when you are the promoter, and Tim and myself were kind of the promoters of this event. And so that's why we did not cook. And so we were able to be free and help out if anything popped up.
Right.
We didn't have any issues, no major issues, no missed turn-ins, it was a great success.
Yeah, it really was. I think you did a fabulous job, very well communicated on everything. I couldn't find a flaw in anything. And I was looking. I really was. Because how do you get better? You try to find the little flaws and you point them out and say, hey, what about this? Or maybe you could do that. And I like to critique stuff. That's how you get better. And I couldn't find anything. I thought everything was run so well for an organization to be put together 4 weeks ago, to get an event out that fast, to get 50 teams to show up on basically a 3 or 4 week notice at best, to pull off obviously you had the judges in place. I mean, you had a seasoned judge with Kiki, and you had Judy there to help out, and her sister. I mean, all of that is really good. That helps, right? It gives you the foundation that you need. But still, you have to pull it together and get it to go right. And I think you did. I just think everything went well.
It was definitely cool to see. We were able to reach out and kind of delegate as many things as we needed, and also having all those people come together and offer their support, and even after the event, like, hey, we figured out a few things that we can do as an organization at every cook and for all of our promoters that'll help assist with like how we signed up our judges in advance. We used a website to track all that and monitor that, and they got emails and text messages the week of, the day before, the day of, and an hour before their assigned time to judge. And it made a world of a difference. The judges knew where to go. They knew when to get there, and everything else. So we didn't have any question about, are we going to have a judge, or are we going to have plenty of judges for this? And I will say, like, Tim Esch even thought about it, while we were there. A broadcast system is one thing we are implementing, and we're in the process of implementing, is a SMS or text message broadcast system that we can use for all cooks, just to say, hey, don't forget cooks meetings at 7:00. Don't forget, turn-in times are this, or you have until this time to sign up for Kiss Your Sister or whatnot. But we want to communicate that, because we want to over-communicate to the cooks and make sure that they are fully aware of every little detail going on with our event.
Yeah, you cannot give us too much information, because that just shows that you're trying to make sure that we have everything. If you told me once, you tell me again, I'm not going to get upset. It's just, okay, hey, appreciate it, because you may tell me the first time, I may have heard it, but I didn't remember it. You tell me the second time, I'm okay. I need to get this done. I need to get up there. I need to go do what I need to do. So,
so what do you think about the 1 hour turn-in times?
It was good. It was a little, I'll tell you the only thing I didn't like about it. The only thing, and it wasn't nothing with the cook, I didn't have no time to clean up. So like usually, 12 o'clock to 1:30 is normally what I'm used to. And I can start maybe taking some of my stuff down, because after I get, not a lot, because I still got, but when I get my ribs done, brisket's already done, right? It's sitting there rested. I can usually get one of my fan down. I can get it up. I can already get my smoker for my chicken. I've got a WSM that I cook on. I can get it cleaned up. I can get it done. And I can usually have all my dishes washed other than my brisket. And my brisket's just a fat separator, my knife, and my spatula. And that's about it. And, when it went from ribs, it was straight. I mean, I turned in ribs at 2:00, and 2:15, I'm pulling my brisket out to get ready to do everything, and I didn't have no time. So that was the only thing I didn't like. That when I got done, I mean, awards was at 4:30. You should have seen me, man. I was scrambling so fast to try to get everything done, and I couldn't get it all done. So either I've got to try to figure out a way around that, or 1:30 turn-ins and move it to 1:30. It's the only thing, because it didn't give me a chance. And then we got done, and I did stay. If I wanted to leave that night, like if it gets dark, like 7:30, 8:00, like in the summer, sometimes, that's a short trip. I'd probably want to try to get back home. It's 2.5 hours, but I'd be pushed so late. I don't know. I don't like driving when it gets too dark, pulling a big trailer and stuff like that, if I can help it. That was the only, if I had to say, the only thing was, it was just I couldn't get all my stuff cleaned up. That's my problem. That ain't nothing to do with the cooks and everybody else. Maybe it's fine. So, but it is a little tight.
I think it was great. That was the one concern I had, was 1 hour turn-in times, and the judging area we had, it wasn't small, but we didn't have extra tables to go ahead and preset preliminary tables for the next category. But they crushed it in the judging area. They were done with final table before the 10-minute before window. So that
of the next meet,
they were already done, ready to go. And so we were able to keep that judging room clean. And get everybody in and out, and I think it worked pretty well. We definitely had an A team there, and we're excited for our next competition.
Right. The only thing that I was starting to worry about is if we had a few more teams and we had to go multiple rounds, another round, because I think then that 1 hour turn in may be a little tight, and that's something obviously I was going to talk to you about, and that's the one thing. And you want to try to.
We do have it built in that once we go over 76 teams, the time will increase as well as the quantity you turn in. So your ribs and brisket will have 2 additional slices.
And 130 and 3
ribs, and then your chicken will be 2 halves as well.
2 halves, yeah.
And so that threshold's 76 because that's when we will add in an additional round.
I got you. So it has to be 76 before you will add an additional round.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay. All right. So you would end up 76 at 4 tables. Let me just do some math real quick, unless you already know. That's 19 on it. That's 19 on a table. I would imagine, 75. Just say 19 on a table.
Right. We're still only going to take 21 to final. I know there's some questions about that. As cook-offs grow in size, 21 is our maximum that we will ever take to a final. Obviously, we'd like to take less if possible. When it dictates at a smaller competition.
Right.
Because 21 bites of any kind of food is
a lot.
A bit.
Yeah.
But we want to keep the judges kind of hungry and eager to try more barbecue. So we don't want to flood them with all that barbecue.
Yeah. Hey, I'll let James come clean and wash your dishes for you. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I don't know if James is on here tonight, but he's man, golly. Thank you, Erica. I may take you up on that. That is hilarious.
I wasn't there, but I did hear that the bar manager had to come tell James to turn his radio down at 4 a.m.
Yeah, dang,
I
that's
think they
crazy.
Were little too much fun.
Little too much fun. Nick turned us to just take your naps. Yeah, I like to take my naps in between. I'm getting old, man. So, and after my last one, my wife said no more beer for a while. That's hilarious. So the only thing wrong was I didn't win, laughing out loud. So that's from Steve Bolin. Well, I tell you what, I think you did a great job. Let's bring the man of the hour in, Mr. Hottie Scotty himself. Scotty the Hottie, I think, is what Anna calls him. So let's bring him in. And Scotty Too Hottie, Mr. Scotty Bryce.
Hey,
buddy.
Too Hottie, guys.
Scotty Too Hottie. That's exactly what she calls you, Scotty Too Hottie. So, Scotty, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very, very good. I can't complain. Congratulations on 3 grand champions in a row and being the first person to win the Outlaw BBQ Association cook-off this past weekend.
Thank y'all.
How does that make you feel? First one to do it. Got to feel good, huh?
Well, it feels great. I personally didn't have a problem with the turn-in timelines. I think you should turn yours in at 1:30, Mike.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. That's funny.
No.
Oh, goodness. But, yeah, I think it all – I didn't see anything wrong with anything. What about you, Scotty? Now, that was my opinion. I mean, you tell me because here's the way. Constructive stuff is how they get better, right? Giving them feedback. Is there anything that you felt that could have been better, changed this? This is a good time to talk about it. What do you say?
One thing I will say, I hadn't seen that many smiles on everybody's faces at one spot in a long time. Yeah. And I never really doubted it because, we're dealing with a bunch of professionals that have done this before on judging and all. It's that they wasn't their first time.
Right.
And they're saying they can't see you.
Yeah.
I need to sign out and sign back in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you pretty good. It's just a little hazy, but it's not too bad. I mean, let's just see if it gets black screen. Scotty, is Scotty's screen black? I'm seeing Scotty is hiding. He's good. No picture.
No
Scotty
picture.
is coming incognito. Where's Scotty? Do y'all see Scotty on the screen? Because you don't see him.
No.
Okay.
And I'm getting text. Let me sign her out.
Yeah, go ahead and log out and kick back in. I see him on my screen, but y'all not picking him up. So log out real quick and pop back in. And they live out in the boondocks. And give him just a second. He'll be right back. I had told Anna about this. So give her just a second and she can pop right back in. But, well, there you go. He thought everything was good. So, and it's like he said, I mean, a lot of happy faces. What about now? Everybody see him? Because I sure do.
I can see him now.
There we go. Good deal. All right. So, I'm with you, Scotty. I think the fellowship before the event, that Friday night, Saturday, I got to hang around for a little bit and got to talk to a lot of the guys. I had a lot of people coming up to me and talking to me, and it was really good. So I didn't have no complaints with anything. So
I didn't figure it would be, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I believed in who we had on it.
Yeah, I thought it went really well, and got a lot of folks. Let's see what we going on here. All fixed up. Cody is taking us. See, all right, there he is. Nick says, "Let's see. I see him. Think I like the black screen better." Yeah, Nick, we're gonna get you on here then see what you look like on here. There's Carissa, Scotty, at Hottie. Yep, there it is. So, Anyway, Ben. I thought it was great. Like I said, I really try to give honest feedback on everything.
Right.
And, it was just really, really good. And I didn't see no complaints with anything. And like I said, the 1, 2, and 3, it wasn't that. It was just, I got to figure out now how to incorporate getting things cleaned up. I think I may have to take Erica's, spot up and get James to come over there.
I'll wash the dishes, and Anna does all the cooking anyways.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious. That is too funny. Well, Scotty, tell us a little bit about you. How'd you get started into this? Did you have a mom or a dad or an uncle that got you into barbecue at an early age, or how did you just start cooking? What was the deal?
Well, actually, my mother passed away now, but in my earlier age, she had done competition. It wasn't any sanctioning body, but just local events around Houston, and so I would go to them, and of course, by the time I got into it, I wished I'd have had some of her recipes because I couldn't win for nothing, and she had passed on, and I just didn't have anything. So, but that's really the way I got started, is passion of what she loved, and it just something that I just found the same interest in.
Right.
So.
And was that at a pretty early age, or how old was she then?
She passed when I was 21, but work.
Okay. Yeah. So how did you get into? So did she do some competition cooks at that time?
Yeah, she did. She done several, but they was not sanctioned.
Not sanctioned. Just
bars,
some local. Yeah. So how'd you finally get into? You decided, okay, I'm going to get a team. Me and Anna's going to go out and start cooking. It seems like I remember you guys coming around 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
And we started probably 3 or 4 years before that, but we would do 1 year, maybe 2. And
right.
I think Rusk was our first ever IBCA competition.
Right.
And we just kind of grabbed on there and went with it. I think it's right.
Yeah. Okay. And then you just kind of went from there and started doing a few more competitions, and then gotten to where you are now. So.
Yes.
And last year, I know the last couple of years, you've cooked quite a few competitions.
Yes.
We cooked together a lot, and so you really turned things around about mid-season this year. I mean, you got on a roll. You've been tearing it up. Congratulations, 3 GCs in a row. I think you've had, 3 or 4? There's 4 GCs this year?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah. So what was the big turning point? What did you start putting together and figuring things out?
Well, if you really go back and look at it, I was setting every cook-off 3rd, 4th, top 10. I couldn't get a brisket call.
Right.
And, believe it or not, I found my brisket at the Royal. So I run something that I'd never been wanting to run, and I just ran it at the Royal. And it got 6th place in the world up there. So.
Yeah.
And that was, and it's been on a roll ever since.
There you go.
The ribs and of course, Anna cooks the chicken. Was doing good, and we just had to find a brisket.
Yeah. That was the one thing he was always missing, was a brisket. You got that nailed down. So
I wouldn't go that far, but
doing pretty good. You're doing good. So they come. I mean, that's the way you all of a sudden find that little recipe that works, and it sticks out, and it stands out a little bit. And when it does, you start getting pretty good walks with them. So
yes.
And you've had a really good rib for a long time. So
yeah, my ribs have been pretty consistent.
Yeah, you've had a really good consistent rib. So is the meat source the key, or is it the cook? There's a question for us. So which one do you think? A little of both? I'd have to say
it's I mean, meat source is really hard for us where we live,
Right.
So we've got one HEB here and it's just real small. And so meat source is hard.
Right.
I guess it would have to be the cook sometimes for us.
Yeah, it's got to be a little of both. Is he locked up on your screen, Cody?
Yeah, it's just a video.
Yeah, can you hear him though?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Video's locked up, but we're hearing you. So, let's see. Tugboat Annie. I guess I'm just trying to check through.
I was big and pregnant when we did that one.
Tugboat Annie's was our first ever competition.
Yeah.
Okay, Tugboat Annie's. Okay.
And in Highlands, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, that was your first competition?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
okay. Now, Carissa, how do you know that was his first competition back then?
She was probably there.
Yeah, she was probably there. That's for sure. So Snake River Farms. So, yeah. So I mean, that's it. You do. So, who are your sponsors? And I want to make sure when we got quite a few folks on here. Who's all your sponsors and stuff?
Robert Smith on the screen, and then Double Barrel is our sponsor, and the barbecue store is our sponsor, and Elk Creek is one of our Cam Day is one of our sponsors there.
Cam Day, okay. Who was your first sponsor that you ever had? Can you hear us?
Did it freeze?
Yeah, it's froze up. Why don't you kick out real quick in and pop back in?
Sorry, y'all.
That's okay. We knew this was going to happen. Hey guys, bear with us real quick. She's going to kick out, pop back in. They live out in the country. They have no Wi-Fi, so everything's having to be done with a cell tower. You know how that can be. So let's see. Meat Source, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. I'll bring my dish soap mic. I love it. Hey, you and I would look really good with them long tube socks and that limp brisket shirt, wouldn't we?
Yeah, a lot of those socks.
What about now?
Weekend.
Yeah, I know it. Yes, sir. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Here we go. Who was your first sponsor? Who was the first person that actually picked you up, Scotty?
The barbecue store.
Barbecue store. Dustin is really good about helping so many people.
First one that ever picked us up.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. I'm in love with this now, but I'm on a budget. Is it possible to put out good product without breaking the bank on meat? I would say it's pretty hard nowadays. You better bring some pretty good meat. At least get a good prime brisket. You can that'll always do good. Good well marbled prime, some good ribs, and what kind of ribs do you cook, Scotty? Do you cook Prairie Fresh or do you cook something else?
Well, it's according on the time of the year, really. I run a lot of Smithfield and I run a lot of Tyson. I run Prairie Fresh. It's time of the year. It's just
right.
What we run,
Yeah.
But what I would say is, with the way things are, you can get by now. A brisket, you need a lot of competition is a bigger one. You need a prime, but
right.
If you've got a 15 to 17, I believe a good choice will work. A lot of cook-offs, and ribs, as long as you got good marbling and chicken, you can get by on. I don't buy $high ribs or $high chicken. But,
right, yeah, the chicken and ribs are not too bad. I mean, you can win with any of them. So I've won many a competition with Tyson, Moist and Tender or whatever they call them, and the Smithfields. I mean, those are all really good ribs. The Prairie Fresh, I've been cooking a lot of Prairie Fresh here lately. I love Prairie Fresh. I think they're an outstanding rib. You don't have to have them. I mean, but that's what we're cooking. So
sure.
There's a lot of spices and rubs nowadays that can kind of manipulate the fat content and alter that. Add a little bit of richness and depth to the flavor as well.
Oh yeah.
I know the RGC. I know he cooked the choice brisket this weekend and had I think it was top 5 brisket call.
Wow.
So you never know. I mean, I always tell people how you finish the brisket and what you do in those final steps really makes a big difference. And you've seen choice hit, and you'll see a Snake River Gold hit too.
Yeah.
I run a Snake River Farm Black this weekend. Is what I ran.
Yeah. Snake River Farm
Black.
I've been
running. That's what I've been winning with.
Yeah. Snake River Farm Blacks are hard to beat. They're really, really good. I am on a big cook-off when it starts to get 40 teams or more. I like to run those. A lot of times the 30 competitions, I get real selective on prime. So I used to use creek stones exclusively, just getting so hard to find, and not really hard to find, but God, they're just getting really pricey.
Right.
And so, I mean, with with Sam's Club being here, they have some really nice IBP primes. And I just go through and look at them. If I can find a 16, 17-pound prime and it's got good marbling, I buy it. If it don't, I mean, I looked at so many of them, I swear, they look like they barely was a choice, you know. And they were so bad that I just didn't even buy them, you know. And then finally, all of a sudden, you see a really good, pretty prime. It's got very good marbling, and you find those that's got real good marbling, you can pick them out. So,
well, you know,
anyway,
past prime was just as expensive as some of the Snake River products.
Oh yeah,
Prime jumped up there, and you could get Snake River for the same price, if not a little bit cheaper.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it's real close anyway.
Yeah. Let's see, how many comps do you do a year? Where are you going to be? I'm going to be at about 22, I think is what I did this year. About the most that I've ever done.
I actually may be somewhere around 30 this year. I'm up there this year.
Yeah. You cook quite a bit more than what we did this year.
Yeah.
So.
Like 3 in a row.
I like to run 3 in a row, and then I'll take off a week. Some cruise, and then, family, and then,
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
But I actually like to run, Mike. I like to run about 3 in a row. It just seems like you kind of, by the third one, everything's kind of floating better to me,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sense.
I think you're 100% right. I think when you do one and then you're off 2 or 3 weeks, and you do one, you're off 2 or 3 weeks, you really can't get in the groove. You can't find out what's working. I think when you start doing those 3 in a row, things really start to gel, and I seem to do good when I get 3 or 4 and take off a week, do 2 more, maybe take off. It just, when they're sporadic here lately, I've just been like a cook off and off 3 weeks, a cook off and off 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's just hard to seem to me to get in a rhythm of what's really working and stuff like that. So over the course of time, I tried to compete. I drove into a 50 cook comp. Yeah, well, that was this past weekend, so
it was a stock competition too.
It was a good competition. Yeah, I used a Walmart Black Angus this weekend. It had great marbling. Yeah, it just goes to show that was James. And I mean, sometimes you can find I love Black Angus, and if you can find a really, really good, well marbled brisket, I think that's the key to it. So. Let's see what else we got. Scotty prefers choice brisket, Robert said.
Well, we've done it together, me and Robert have, for sure.
Do what now?
Me and Robert come in for the Garrison CBA, and I'm not sure them was choices, though, Robert. Them were probably selects we ran in.
Were they pretty bad?
Well, I mean, they were what they were. But
Yeah.
They worked over here.
Yeah.
Not to get too technical, but one thing I always tell new cooks is you have to remember when they grade a carcass, they grade in the ribeye. So if they grade and it grades as choice, then the whole carcass grades that way.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times don't be afraid if you happen to see a choice brisket that looks great and it's well marbled and fits your structure, what you want, go ahead and grab it. It's nothing but a sticker for the grade.
That's it.
Don't be
those
afraid
are the questions.
to look at that.
Yeah, that's 100% right. Like I said, I found too many briskets that I saw a choice one time. Like you said, I was like, there ain't no way this is a choice. This thing's a freaking prime. It just got marked wrong. So, let's see, how many briskets, rack of ribs, and chickens do you do per cook-off? I cook 1 brisket, 3 racks of ribs, and 1 whole chicken that I use into 2 halves. What do you do, Scotty?
I run 2 slabs of ribs, and I run 1 brisket and 2 chickens.
Two whole chickens or 2 halves?
Well, I use 2 halves, yeah.
2 halves, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Send it 18 in a row. I think that's Robert. He's probably got 18 cook-offs in a row. So
who is that guy?
I don't know who that guy is. So, oh goodness gracious. Nick wants to know if you taken any classes.
Yeah.
I actually haven't, but I haven't took any classes. But we're all friends and we all talk. But I just had never taken any classes. I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah. Let's see.
But would I recommend a class if I was coming into this sport? The way the price everything is right now, the only way I'd do it is class. But you got to understand, when I came into it, the classes wasn't as available as they are now.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, that's true. 100%.
It would be cheaper on you to take a class or get a good buddy to help you.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. Bill Purvis. What about Cruz? What's his secrets?
Hold on, he's right here.
There we go. What's going on, Cruz? How you doing, buddy?
That mullet.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he can rock the mullet better than any of us. So, man, you've been tearing it up quite a bit yourself, hadn't you?
Yes, sir.
Doing pretty good. Congratulations on all your little wins that you've had this year. So, you do a lot of practice or not?
Not really. Every now and then.
No, just kind of show up.
He sent you a bunch of real
portraits. Pre-fresh sent me a big box full with pork chops.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Well, you get to do a little practice over the winter and get ready for next year, right?
Say Blanchard's coming up.
Blanchard's coming. That's it. All right, Cruz. It was good seeing you, man. Oh goodness. Let's see. Yeah, and there was Jones Meat Market. Do they have quite a bit of selection of meats and stuff, Cody? Jones Meat, Jose's?
Yeah, they do.
Is it Joe's Meat Market? Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's Meat Market. I'll tell you, they definitely, they're the meat market kind of where I live. And during the COVID pandemic, they really strategically, put themselves in the market in a position to where they were able to source quality product for, a lot of the locals. And, during COVID, we saw more and more backyard cooks start branching out and trying new items, tri-tips and better quality meats and everything else. And Joe's really picked it up, and they started carrying those elevated products as opposed to just regular commodity beef. And,
that's good.
It's done really well. So I know a lot of competition cooks.
Are they located there in Terrell?
No, they're actually in in downtown Roy City.
Okay, so right there where we was at then.
Yeah, so right down the road from where we were, they were one of our sponsors there for this past event, and then also Chard 380. A lot of guys on the north side of the Metroplex up there in McKinney. Those guys, Sean, he carries Prairie Fresh, he carries Snake River. He has a lot of good products up there as well, and so it's kind of nice to see it in the DFW market where we're getting more and more stores. Because for the longest time, we did it. We had old school meat markets that carried products that you didn't know where it was sourced from or what quality it really was. It just had a price on it.
Right.
Now these guys are really stepping up the game.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. What kind of meats do they sell? Any like primes and wagyus or Joe's? Joe sells.
They have prime. Then they also do cut steaks, ready to go. That they have some Wagyu product out there, and I think they had some like A5 at one point as well. So they've definitely stepped it up out there in Roy City, and he's actually got a lot of spices too. He's listened to the cooks, listened to the people in his area, and brought in a bunch of products. Same thing with Chard 380. I was talking to Sean the other day and said, "Hey man, these are some items that I use personally that I'm tired of buying online or." I need locally sometimes because I procrastinate too long and run out of product. So I need someone locally to source it. And those guys are getting involved in it for sure.
Right. That's good. Okay. Question for you. What pits or grills do you use? What kind of pits? What are you cooking on now, Scotty? I know you had your vault on there at one time.
I run multiple grills. I run a gateway drum. That's what I cook my brisket on. And, backwoods is what I cook my ribs on.
And pork.
Okay.
And pork. I do more than CBA, and then we run our Weber to finish on. But trying to get my buddy Robert to get me one more gateway where I can run my chicken on there.
Okay. What do you run your chicken on? A Weber?
I start them out on backwoods and then finish them off on the Weber.
Okay.
And let Robert to get me another gateway.
I got you.
You can that chicken next time, buddy.
Okay. So you're cooking brisket on a drum, And then when you wrap it, is it still on the drum, or do you put it in in your you stay so it stays in the drum the whole time?
It stays on the drum the whole time.
Okay, wrap it, put it in the drum, and then your ribs you cook on a backwoods.
I do.
And then your chicken you cook in a backwoods, and then throw it in a on the Weber to finish. Yeah, to finish. Put some heat and some char and stuff like that on it.
That's right.
Yeah. And see, I cook on a rotisserie Cadillac cooker, and then I cook my chicken on a 22-inch WSM drum. So anyway, so that answered that question. Now, actually, Brad, he cooks it on a drum, so we got that. Are those golden chickens you're using?
I saw my chicken recipe.
Yeah, golden chickens. That's it. All I saw where she was opening them up and looking at their butt and said, "Are these things bad?" I was like, "They look good to me." Me and Dwayne was there, and I was like, "No, it looked like some Pilgrim Pride or something." So. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. Kurt, when is Cody going to teach his class? Let's see. She's at least got quick on getting him back in, so that's good.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Shifting from catfish, huh? Now we got Gary. We got Gray all the way here. He done deserted us. He's up there in Dedgum, Ohio now. So get your butt back down here. Jackson says, make sure Cruz knows that Jackson said hi to him. Oh, let's see. Send it, Linda. I think Robert's looking for that chicken recipe. So
no, that's crazy saying. Send it.
I saw Cruz. He always goes off. Send it, Linda.
Send it, Linda. Let's see. Chart 380 carries Buckhead meets top rated. Okay. Let's see. Scotty, what tires do you prefer in your trailer?
Only Goodyear. Only Goodyear.
Only Goodyear. That's hilarious. Let's see. Not only does he sell great meat, but he does a lot for the community, supports our troops and his first responders. That's pretty awesome. So, there's news. Let's see what else we got here. Just kind of looking at a lot of comments, guys. We appreciate it. If you got questions, we're trying to get to them. We just got so many. What new spares look good to you? There's new spares look good. Lots of rubs and sauces. Yep. So you got a lot of different stuff. Missed the first 35 minutes. Wife's office. Well, you can. A good thing is, Steve, you can always go back and watch it from the beginning. Cody, looks like Craig's going to be there. He's going to see you on Friday.
Yep.
Texas Ambassador admins Brad's most Jose. We're full of family. Come visit us one day. Yep, we're gonna definitely have to come by there. So wished I had known. I would have stopped by. Any preference for chicken? Is natural or organic better? I've run both.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't run the same. I believe a chicken will work and then it'll fall off and then it goes to another brand. So I don't know exactly how that works, but I know that chickens sometimes are better than others, and I try to look at, and just look at the chicken and make sure it ain't real yellow. Make sure it's good white chicken.
White chicken. Yeah.
I hear about it.
Hey, you got to remember, it's just chicken.
Yeah, it's just a chicken, and it's backyard judges, right?
Right.
I'm with you. I've tried organic. I've tried natural. I just cook a regular chicken and try to find something that ain't got a lot of yellow in it. If it's mostly white under the skin, that's what I'm looking for.
Chicken got first place.
I always tell people to do, especially with poultry, it's a lot of marketing. What they put on those labels and what they classify organic or free range or no antibiotics and. Of course, there's no antibiotics. The government regulates that, and they require that it's antibiotic free. So, you see people at the grocery store, they try to slap a sticker on it and charge you $1 per pound more. We can have a whole nother class talking about meat one day and the gimmicks and everything else behind some of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, 100%. So.
Well, make sure it'll fit in the box. That's the main thing. You didn't know whether they got the big boxes or little boxes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Race. I was reading comments.
Yeah, just kind of looking through everything. Still recovering from this last weekend. Done lost him again. Let's see. What time does your chicken go on, Scotty? So we use drunk chickens. Yeah. All right. Carissa wants to know what. They ain't back yet. So. Oh goodness gracious.
I think they thought we were frozen, but we were all just trying to read the comments.
Yeah, that's it. So, do you guys try to prevent shigging at competitions? I don't really care. If somebody wants to come over, they can come over. I don't think nobody really. I don't see people trying to shig, man. That seems like years ago stuff. I haven't been around people that come around trying to do it anyway. So
I think with classes nowadays and everything else,
yeah,
people are respectful to a certain. They know when to step back and let you do your thing, or
right.
But for the most part, it's not what it used to be.
No, not really. All right, so Krista wants to know what time your chicken goes on, Scotty.
Well, Scotty don't cook chicken.
Yeah, okay.
Anna cooks chicken, Carissa.
Oh, there you go, Sarah. Now, Carissa, you're going to have to readdress that question so we can ask it in the proper way. James says he uses...
I've normally put my chicken on at 9 o'clock in the morning, no matter what.
Yeah, just get it on early, right? Yeah. And let it roll. Low and slow and
put it all in the box.
That's it. Carissa, he ain't giving you no information, so... what's your go-to drink at the barbecue competition?
Mostly sweet tea.
Sweet tea, yeah. Bull butter. I'm the sweet tea guy. So, oh goodness gracious, Cody, can competition cooks order and pick their meats up from Buckhead's meat?
Yes and no. They can order online.
Okay.
And then they could pick up at the Houston facility. But I will say, typically, if you can go to a retailer, it's better to go to a retailer to grab it.
Okay. Oh man. Let's see. Bloody Mary injection. Do you guys buy spares and cut them down? I just buy St. Louis. I don't even want to waste the time buying spares and cutting them down. What about you, Scotty?
I buy St. Louis, but I still have to cut them down a lot of times.
Yeah, a lot of times they got too much of that bone over. Yeah, what about you, Cody?
Cross rib in there.
I actually cut mine down.
Yeah.
I
so
know
you buy spares?
There's actually like different codes for different brands, and they have some that are like competition cut and everything else. But when I buy the Prairie Fresh from my work, I just buy the whole spare and cut it down.
Cut it down. Yeah. Okay. And I'm
my biggest thing though is I want the biggest rib I can get. So I tried, and that's just the way I cook. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but I run them. If I can get a 5.5 pound and it's a good looking rib, normally 5 pound Smithfield Tyson, that's what I'm going to get. Right. I'm not worried so much about how straight the ribs are.
Yeah,
they're going to look different when we slice them.
Right.
I want a big rib.
Yeah.
I want to fill a box.
Yeah. You want big wide, or you like thick rib? Is that what you're talking about? Thick ribs? You talking about thick ribs, Scotty? I think we lost him. Scotty, you there?
Yes, sir, I am now.
Okay. Do you like thick ribs? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, here's the deal. You shoot for the middle of the rib and you're looking there. We all know how to judge them. But I want a big rib. I want to fill my box up.
I got you. Yeah.
I really think it stands you apart, especially if we're doing 7. I want to fill it, because that's an oddball number. I don't really like 7. I mean, it is where it is. But, I'd rather be able to put 8, really it'd be, the way I would see it, but it is. So I want big ribs in my box.
Yeah. I like
hearing Scotty say that about the numbers. That's one thing we noticed this weekend in judging. Like, we barely went through 2.5, 3 slices of brisket, through the whole competition, and we got 7 in there, obviously to be safe, but I think that could be looked at one day.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a lot of wasted food, right? So,
right. And whether we got appearance in this or not, I just honestly feel like when you open a box, you judge with your eyes. I mean, a person judges a box by what they see, no matter if you got a scoring for it or not. That's why I've always tried to do my best, giving them good stuff.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's right. I think you're absolutely right. So, Cody, we have James says, Cody, what if we have a tax ID? Can we buy from Buckhead? That's hilarious. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see what else we got. What do y'all do with all the meat you trim off? You shouldn't just throw it away. Come on.
I'll tell you, I got more grind sitting in my freezer right now.
Oh, I know it.
And I got a bunch of good, Snake River Gold and everything else. And honestly, one of my favorite things to do is during the holidays is make meatballs out of it. I'll take the pork and beef grind it up and mix it and make meatballs. And they're probably pretty expensive meatballs, but they sure do taste good.
Yeah, it's better than throwing them in the garbage can. That's for sure. So
we do a lot of beef tips and rice, maybe loaded nachos, stuff like that. Hamburger meat, we don't hardly buy hamburger meat.
No, you don't have to with all the trimming. I saved, and I piled it up. I bought a $300 grinder at Bass Pro Shop, and it's still sitting in the box. And I was like, man, I need to pull the thing out and run it. I had 20 pounds of deadgum brisket sitting there, and it's just. And then all of a sudden, I was like, man, I don't need to put no more. I don't know. I started giving it away. So.
Well, it happens, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All leftovers went to the Terrell Senior Citizen Center this past weekend. That is, they got to eat good. Wow. So.
Yeah, she set that up on her own. Obviously, we knew there was going to be leftovers, and you hate to just throw it away. So she was able to make that with those folks and get it out there to them.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So the return in boxes, yes, you just take the foil and you lay a piece of foil in the bottom of the box, and then you put your meat in. That's it. It's nothing wrapped or anything else. Lay it in, put your meat on top of it. So hey, looky here, Nakia. So
yep.
Thank you, Nakia, for being here. Hadn't seen you in a while. Cody, I need some of those meatballs. Sounds delicious. Yeah, it does. So. Well, I tell you what, guys, it has been a great show. Man, we got 74 on here. Guess we kept everybody's interest. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. Cody, any final words? Anything that we can expect? Maybe some new stuff. When's everything going to really start kicking off with the Outlaw? Any big things kicking?
Yeah, we have our last cook-off of the year coming up this weekend. Bass Pro Shops in Grapevine. It'll be out there. It's we're expecting probably, I'd say, 30 to 50 teams again for this event. So it's an added money event. It's an 80-20 payout plus an added $1,000. The Outlaws contributing. We had sponsors help out and this past cook-off. So we definitely want to thank all those guys. And we were able to put some money towards this next one. And I'll say, after this last competition, I woke up Sunday to a lot of calls and a lot of text messages and from promoters all across the state that heard great things about Outlaw, and they were excited for it. So I wouldn't be shocked if you see Outlaw spread a little bit quicker than anticipated, and start looking and talking to promoters and see. And we'll update our website. We have everything on there. Most of our events are on there right now. It's outlawbbq.org, and then we have the events tab, and we're updating that as it goes on. We have 4 or 5 more to add to it this week that we have grown. So I think we're going to be sitting right around 20 cook-offs for 22, and we're going to continue to grow. So if there's a cook-off in your region or a cook-off in your area that you're interested in, maybe want to look at seeing how what the Outlaw life is about, we can definitely do it and get you guys taken care of. We have plenty of head judges across the state, and more wanting to sign up as every day goes on. So
that's good.
Just thank everybody once again for supporting the organization, coming out. I promise I'll get you the hats and shirts as soon as we can get them produced. And,
yes. I need a hat.
yeah. I mean, it went so quick. I was shocked, but we're working on everything, and we're excited to see what the future holds.
That's good. Well, thank you, Cody, for everything you're doing. I think y'all are doing an amazing job, and hats off to you and the entire board, and Terry, the vice president, and everybody. I think y'all are just doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep us informed, and we appreciate it. So, let's see who else we got. Scotty, any final words, buddy?
Oh, whoa, hang on. You there?
We're having a lot of technical difficulties.
Yeah, I see that. Scotty's for himself.
We really enjoyed the Outlaw Cook-Off. We enjoyed cooking as a family. We always travel together. I'm bringing my cousin on. He's starting to do, him and his wife are doing really good. And I just want to see the family, part of it again.
Right.
Instead of the politics side of it, to be honest with you.
100%.
No matter what organization it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 100%. 100%. I agree with you completely. Well, I appreciate your time, guys. And as always, we always appreciate our listeners. Y'all stayed with us pretty much through the entire show. We're going to continue to rock these things out. I think next weekend we're going to have Miss Shauna Rapolo on here. We're going to be talking about this Kids Q Nation deal that she's kind of gotten behind. I hope everybody will be over here to help support that and watch that, because they're trying to do a lot of stuff. You know, the future of barbecue, whether it's cook-offs and steak or barbecue competitions, is our kids. Prime example of that young man's kid right there, Mr. Cruz, he will put it on you any day. And I hope everybody will be with us. I think we've got them lined up for next Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, guys, for everything that y'all have done. And congratulations, Scotty, on a banner year. Thank you, Cody, once again for everything you've done for Outlaw. And as we always say when we end our barbecue classes, when we're filming them on Barbecue Champs, y'all have a lot of fun and smoke